Hi, I'm Sheilaa Hite, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, modern-day alchemist, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk about May, the magical month of May. And it is indeed magical. A lot's going to be going on this month. It seems that this year we're having almost every month has been pretty intense, and May is no exception. So many things going on. Planets will be changing signs. Planets will be going into signs that they govern. And planets will also be going out of bounds. And what is out of bounds? Exactly what it sounds like. Out of bounds means out of the expected and the usual norm. It means out of boundaries. It means doing what you want. It means doing what you want regardless of the rules. Now, not necessarily you doing what you want regardless of the rules, but the planets operating in the way they want regardless of the rules. So let's talk about the big stuff. The big stuff this month is indeed what's happening in a planetary fashion. So what's happening in a planetary fashion? Not only are planets going out of bounds, not only are planets beginning to move into their own signs, but some planets are moving into signs that aren't quite theirs, but there's a way to work with them, and we'll talk mostly about that today. So the planets Mercury, how we think and gather information, Venus, our social life, how we balance things, our personal self-value, and the moon and Mars, how we take action, how we get things done, the moon, how we really are, our emotional foundations, will all be going out of bounds. Now, the moon is its own entity, and I find it difficult to really track it when it's going out of bounds. It seems to go out of bounds in a less intense but a more constant way than the other planets. So let's talk about that. When Mercury goes out of bounds, Mercury is communication. When it goes out of bounds, anything can be said and most likely will be. Your responsibility is to do whatever you do, say whatever you say, with a kind of gentleness and grace. You can certainly speak your truth, but you have to speak your truth, making sure that you haven't offended the situation and the subject matter, as well as the people you're talking to. When Venus goes out of bounds, you can think that you like certain things in certain ways. You think you like certain people or certain types of people in certain ways. You think you can like and know yourself in certain ways. When Venus goes out of bounds, we get an opportunity to stand outside the circle and to look in and see the situations we've been operating in, to see how we've been placing our value and how we have been using that value or being used by it. So when Mars goes out of bounds, well, Mars is pretty out there anyway. Mars is action, sometimes troublesome action, sometimes an argument's going to start. But Mars is about how we get things done. When Mars goes out of bounds, it's very important to definitely check in with yourself. What am I doing? How am I doing it? How is it affecting others? How is it affecting me? Is it affecting the outcome? Am I doing what I need to be doing to get what I want? When anything else, the moon and anything else goes out of bounds, it takes its own course and makes its own rules. Make sure that the courses you take and the rules you make don't go counter to what is best for the world at large. And what is best is not determined by old rules or by people who can't think straight or think outside the box. What is best is determined by, does this make other people feel valuable? Does this make me feel valuable? What is best is, am I being productive? Is this a contribution? What is happening here that I am doing, thinking about doing, feeling like doing? What is happening here that is going to make it better for all of us? and better not in that selfish, horrible way that so many people have adopted, but in a way that means we all get to share. And that's really what will make this planet work well, is understanding that the verb here is share. As we share our feelings, as we share our goods, as we share our systems, we have more of, and we have a better quality of. So this is a time that's calling for a lot of truth. Truth starts within yourself and goes out to others. The two dates that we have to really be careful about this, or be aware of, not necessarily careful, but be aware of this month, is Mercury. Mercury on yesterday, May 3rd, went into its own sign. Mercury is communication. It rules communication. It rules roadways and passageways. So Mercury, as a conduit, entered its own sign, Gemini. That means talk, 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 talk. There's going to be a lot of that, a lot of thinking, a lot of communicating. And most of it is going to be productive and wonderful. Some of it will be thoughtless. Some of it will be cold or cruel. You don't have to be a part of that cold or cruel or thoughtless group if you listen to what you're thinking and how you're thinking, and if you think before you speak. Mercury in Gemini is a little faster on the draw than it should be. So this is a time when you really need to make sure that you, for the next few weeks, that you and anything you have to say are contributing in a positive way to whatever situation you're in, are contributing useful, positive information that will enlighten and improve whatever situation you're in. So it's definitely, you need to speak your mind, but you need to speak it with, as I've written here, with gentleness and grace. So gentleness and grace are your new friends, especially during this next few weeks of Mercury in the sign of Gemini. On May 8th, Venus, the planet that rules feelings, emotions, relationships, the planet that rules relationships and self-value, that planet, Venus, will be going into the sign of Gemini. Now, Venus is warm and fuzzy. Gemini is logical and mental. So what does that mean? What that means is you get a chance to think about what you really hold of value. You get a chance to take a look at, to discern if what you hold of value is still valuable and how you deal with it if that's valuable. You also get to speak about and demonstrate as well as speak about how you feel about something, how you feel about someone, how you feel about yourself. And you get to say these words, not spout them out like an out of control fountain, but you get to flow in a wonderful rhythmic way with the world, because Venus rules rhythm, and it really rules that pattern that establishes a sense of feeling good and connecting with yourself and others. So your communication, Venus and Gemini, needs to be about connecting with yourself and with others. So for Venus and Gemini, you need to be careful, and for Mercury, also in Gemini, you need to be careful that there's not more talk than action. You need to be willing to go into a place of activity with what you're thinking and how you're thinking. It's a good time with Mercury and Venus in Gemini, a good time to plan and activate whatever your next venture is. Let's think about it and let's take action. Let's get it going. It's a fabulous time for parties, for social gatherings, great for production meetings, because you're making plans. That's Mercury. You are making plans that will benefit the whole, the good, you and others. That's Venus. And you're talking about it. That's Gemini. It's great for clarity on who and where and what you are in this moment and who and where and what you want to be in the coming moments. And it really does insists on mindfulness. Mindfulness with an awareness of your value and mindfulness with the importance of your own personal sense of balance. What is balance to you? Then let's practice it. Remember, a lot of planets are out of bounds. So yes, there are still rules, but now there's room for you to come in with your method of moving, room for you to come in with your rules, with your ways of being. So uh, speak your mind with clarity, gentleness, and grace. And remember that the sign Gemini is about communication. It's a messenger. And remember that the planet Mercury is about communication. It's a messenger. And remember that Venus is also communication and a messenger, a different kind. Venus doesn't just speak. Venus feels. Venus demonstrates. Venus embraces. So embrace your mindfulness. Embrace your point of view and express those in a way that brings joy and that brings clarity and a feeling of belonging and safety to everyone. And on that note, I will say goodbye for now and see you next time.